This is the 27 Amendments of the United States Constitution, and we will be explaining every single one in our own words. So, starting off with the First Amendment, published in 1791, it gives you the freedom of speech. Press, that means you can write or print anything you want and no one can tell you otherwise, unless it's like treason or some stuff
Horrible
like that.
stuff.
Yes. And the freedom of religion, you can practice anything you want. No one can really say nothing against that.
I mean, there's certain in-betweens, but
There's certain boundaries.
Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty much anything.
And then, Second Amendment, my favorite actually.
And also mine.
It is the right to bear arms.
Oh, yeah.
That means you get to own a gun and have it for your safety. But there is some legal laws against
Unless
that.
you go to jail.
Yeah, you could go to jail if you break some of these rules. Also, you also have to have a permit to have a carry-on. That means you have your gun with you or on you.
Unless it's like an open carry, where it depends on where you're at.
Yes, depends where you are and when you are in this thing.
Yeah.
Third Amendment. You do not have to hold soldiers in your house. So say soldiers from war are in your town and they need a place to stay and they ask you to stay in your house. You no longer have to legally let them stay in your house. You can deny that privilege.
Yeah, so no more British entering your homes without permission.
Also, we have the Fourth Amendment. No unreasonable search or arrest. That means you can't be searched unless there is a reasonable reason that they search you or arrest you. They can't just arrest you to arrest you.
So unless they have an absolute 100% reason to search you and or put you in cuffs, they can't.
Yeah.
All right. Fifth Amendment. No double jeopardies or witnesses against yourself. Basically what that means is they can't get you on the same thing twice.
Yeah, say you go into a courtroom and you're charged for one thing and then
you do it again, they can't get you for that same
and
thing.
You're not charged, they can't charge you for it again.
Yeah. And this was made in 1791. Most of these are all made in the same dates. But all right. The Sixth Amendment. That's right for a fair trial. I mean, who wouldn't want one? I mean, you get an unfair trial, you're gone.
You're screwed.
You're screwed.
That's not fair.
All right, Seventh Amendment. That's right to a jury trial. So that's kind of giving you a 50-50 shot on whether you're innocent or guilty.
Means people from the town or people. You don't got people that are biased. It's just how people are. And they decide if you're guilty or not guilty.
Eighth Amendment. No exclusive bail, fines, or cruel and unusual punishments. Now, what that's saying is
you can't be burned at the stake anymore. Witch trial.
No Salem witch trial
can't
stuff.
Be hanged. Iron Maiden, Iron Bull.
No medieval bullcrap. But I mean, there is the death penalty in certain places. But
for only really cool reasons.
Yeah, reasonable reasons.
All right. Now we're into the 13th Amendment that was in 1865. It abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, except in the punishment of a crime. So no more slaves. Just how it is. And then we have the 14th Amendment, made in 1868. Guarantee equal civil and legal rights to anyone born in the USA or who became a citizen of the country. That means you have all the rights if you're in the country. You can't be excluded for them unless you illegally got into the country. Something known as border hoppers, but that's a different thing. Then we got the 15th Amendment, made 1870s. Guaranteed the right to vote to all not denied based on race, color, previous servitude. This means you can vote. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, any of that.
You could be blue and still vote.
You can be a Smurf, a Oompa Loompa, who knows? And based off you're in prison or something, you can still vote when you get out, of course. And then we have the 16th Amendment.
Actually, in some states, you can vote in prison.
Well, yeah, some states. The 16th Amendment in 1913 grants Congress the right to collect taxes on income. I think that's pretty stupid in my opinion, because, like, you're taking my money away from my job I'm working, but one person like me and you can't really change that. So it's pretty stupid, in my opinion, but that was in 1913.
Alright, now we're on to the 9th Amendment. People get rights not listed in Constitution. So basically, there is some that is not written that you get. That's your everything, basically. Your unspoken rights.
Yep.
The 10th Amendment. Any rights not given to federal government are given to the states and the people. So that's basically making it fair for the little guy.
Yep.
11th Amendment restricts the ability of individuals to bring suit against states in which they are not citizens in federal court. So basically, you cannot sue another state. So if you don't live there, you can't sue that state.
And if you don't live in that state, you can not even become a judge, jury. You have to be in that state.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not, you got no power over that.
All right, the 12th Amendment. Separate election of the president and vice president by electoral college. That's basically what it's saying. Is it's kind of like a different type of. It's the same election. It's
different ways that you can somewhat become vice president, president. I'm not too savvy in that area, so I can't give the best explanation, but it is technically what it is.
Yeah.
Then we have the 17th Amendment in 1913. 2 senators from each state have for 6 years. Their terms are 6 years, and that is what it is. And then we have the 18th Amendment, 1919. Declares the production and transport and sale of all liquors illegal because they thought people drink too much, wives were getting angry and stuff, and they banned it. Poor things. Then we have the 19th Amendment in 1920. Granted women the right to vote. That means they can vote because they were no longer a thing, because men used to think they just belonged in the kitchen.
There was a lot of things back then that...
It was very sexual, and we had a ton of meetings, parades, boycotts, just so women can have rights, equal rights to men, and vote, even though they still make less money than men, sadly. Then you have the 20th Amendment in 1933. If a president dies at the beginning of his term, the vice president elect shall be president.
Which is 100% understandable.
So basically, if the president, per se, like JFK got shot at the beginning of his term, like the first few days, that means the vice president will come up into office and be president. But since he died at the beginning of his term, if he served, that would be one whole. He would serve the entire thing, and he would only be able to get president one other time. He would still get to run for president 2 times. But if it was halfway through, he would still get the 2 other times to be president.
All right, the 21st Amendment. Basically, the complete opposite of the 18th one. It repels the 18th Amendment on alcohol ban. Basically, that just lifted the ban from the 18th. So,
And the funny thing about saying the 21st Amendment, you gotta be 21 to drink alcohol.
literally. Back then, it used to be 18, now it's 21.
In the UK, it's still 18, actually, surprisingly enough. But they got terrible alcohol. I wouldn't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Continue.
The 22nd Amendment. Term limits for the president to 2 terms. Okay, this is better than having some 100-year-old dude trying to run a country.
But we got a president that sniffs people. But this basically, so we don't have people like
Okay,
kings.
just because we have a kid sniffer as a president, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I would rather have a better president.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if they ran for more terms, it would technically be like an anarchy with like kings, queens, that ton of stuff would somewhat be like that. And that would just be downright terrible.
Yeah. Alright, 23rd Amendment gives the right to citizens of the District of Columbia to vote in presidential elections. Basically, that gives the president more votes and them more rights.
Yeah. The other territories that we own are also, that are included in the USA, are allowed to vote for who's president, because that decides what happens for them as well.
24th Amendment. Eliminate poll taxes for voting. So basically, instead of having to pay like $1 or something to vote, you don't gotta do that anymore.
Because that was also a way for stopping black people and poor people from voting. Alright. Our last 3 amendments. Okay, we got the 25th Amendment, made in 1967. If the president dies while in office, vice president shall become president. Basically what we said on the, what amendment was it?
Was it the 2 terms?
No, it was. Which one was it? Technical difficulty. 1 second. It's the same one as, it's basically what the 20th Amendment said. If the president dies at the beginning of his term, the vice president-elect shall be president. Same ones as that.
Basically
But
confirming it.
it's just enforcing the same thing that we explained for the 20th Amendment. So that's that. And we have the 26th Amendment establishing national voting age at 18. You got to be 18 or older to vote.
So as soon as you turn 18, you can put votes in.
Yeah, you don't have to, but you
don't have
can.
You can.
I suggest we vote for a smarter president.
Oh yeah,
Just
100%. Hey, I can actually vote, and I don't know. I ain't 100% on how to do it, but I'm gonna try.
All right, and finally, with our 27th Amendment, the last one made in 1992, pay increases for members of Congress may only take place after the next election of the House of Representatives occur. That means after that happens, their pay becomes more, but they have to wait a long period of time before that happens.
So basically, it's a pay upgrade, but they have to wait for it.
It's like, because, yeah, you have to wait for that, because if you leave before that, you just don't get your pay, and you're just not having that increase. So, that was the 27 amendments. That's how we would explain it to anybody, and we're out of here.
Best way possible, anyway.
So that's what possible. All right, goodbye.